In this tutorial, we're going to look again at the Enterprise AI Challenge with Pixel. And today I'm going to show you how you can use the APRAV data classifications to analyze files for sensitive information, personable, identifiable information, as well as any kind of very sensitive data that you might find in enterprise documents. Let's build the general company AI chatbot next. For this one, we can use some simple criteria that APRAV provides in order to filtrate the right data that we want to have in this project. The first thing we're going to use is a feature called classifications. Data classifications you can find under the Settings tab. With this first version, we've only released a couple but very powerful classifications that will help you identify personable, identifiable information within all the data of your enterprise organization. In this case, I've chosen to apply 3 policies to the entire data set. United States Personal Data Policy, Sensitive Data Policy, as well as Social Security and Taxpayer ID Policy. So these policies empower me to query within the data set and find out if any of the documents contain any kind of these so highly secure and personal informations. So I can query, go to classifications, and enable one of these policies and click apply. So now I can see that these 3 files contain sensitive information that should not be put into a public-facing chatbot. So what I can do now is I can change the operator from equal or include those files in the query to not include. Additionally, I'm going to add an extra criteria and I'm going to look for all the files where the HR department has permission to. Furthermore now, let's look for all the files that HR is looking to, that we are looking to integrate into a chatbot for it to be useful. So namely, we want to look for files that contain the content from policies. What the software is doing now, it's looking through all the content in every file and it's looking for classification hits as well as content hits on the search parameters that I've just put in. So right here, we found all the files that are containing a flag for these policies as well as content. Okay, so let's use that knowledge and build a toolchain. I'm going to go with the IT drive. Basic functionality, create a filter, same filters as before. Going to be using classifications, no PII data, use the permissions, select all data related to the HR, and lastly, look for all the content that contains policy information. And here we go. Now we repeat the same steps as before. Give this a name, HR toolchain. Use the configuration parameters. Give the collection a name, select the right model, and press save. Then we can go back, we can check, and we can already find our HR collection in the VB8 vector database. Beautiful. So once that is saved, now we can click the run button, and in a couple seconds, we'll have all the data that is within those policies and those onboarding plans available to query and to chat with in our publicly facing HR chatbot. And ready to go. Beautiful. So now I can ask a question like, hey, What is the Pixel Pruvy company policy on travel expenses? And here we go. So the Pixel Pruvy policy on travel expenses is outlined in the expense reimbursement and travel policy document. The policy specifies that travel expenses incurred for legitimate business purposes are generally reimbursable. So now it names a bunch of transportation cost, lodging cost, meals, ground transportation, and parking fees. Now you know how to put together a complex query on the Aparavi data toolchain by using permissions, classifications, and content search.